Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing pretty well. Today's actually 4th of July. I'm actually going to wash the Equinox and the Impala because of fireworks. You know, everybody has fireworks in the neighborhood, and I don't know if it's going to be, if we're going to have morning dew the following morning, but sometimes because these cars just stay outside, all that debris from the fireworks will land on the surface, and then it kind of makes an ugly mess with dew in the morning. If the cars are already dirty. So I'm going to wash them. Hopefully they don't get a lot of stuff on there, and then tomorrow I'm going to have to wash them again. So maybe, you know, I'm just kind of doing that. So this gave me a perfect opportunity to wash with a rinseless wash that it's a hybrid wash. I'm late to the game on this one, and that would be Detail Co. hybrid wash, Loki hybrid wash. And again, I'm late to the game in terms of getting the video out. I actually have like maybe, I think I have like half an ounce left. I've pretty much gone through this entire bottle. I've actually used this off camera, and I never had the opportunity to make a video on it. I was like, let me just go ahead and make one before I use up, and I had enough just to make a foaming pre-soak and then a regular rinseless wash in the bucket. So we're going to use it as a rinseless wash today. And at the same time, I'm going to play around with the combination of playing around with Loki as a foaming pre-soak and then Nemesis as your wash process, and we'll talk about why in a minute. So first thing I want to go over, let me get the bottle one more time just so for Loki hybrid wash. You're probably asking, well, what is hybrid wash? Well, I'll just tell you what they put on the bottle here. It says it's a versatile cleaning solution that combines advanced surfactants for deeper cleaning and slickness, delivering results that rival polymer-based rinseless washes, perfect for a variety of applications. So what is that telling me? Again, because I can foam it, I can use it either as a rinseless wash. I'll tell you, we'll read the dilutions here in a second. You can use it as a rinseless wash, foam it pre-soak. I can use it in a foam cannon to foam it, and I can use it actually as my wash process. So hybrid wash meaning I can use it in a traditional bucket wash, and I can use it as a rinseless wash style format. That's what this hybrid wash process or hybrid wash product is. Think of it as something similar to Optimum Hyperfoam. For those of you guys have watched the video on this, very similar to this in that you can use this as your soap alternative, whether it's a traditional bucket wash or a rinseless wash style. Again, you can use them in a foam cannon, foaming pump sprayer. You know, you can pretty much use this in multiple uses. So that's why they say it's a versatile cleaning solution. So here's the dilutions for rinseless wash. It's 256 to 1. Foam cannon is 3 ounces and 32 ounces. Foam sprayer, it's 2 ounces and 32 ounces. And you can use this as clay lube. It's 2 ounces per 1 gallon of water. I've actually already mixed everything off camera to save some time. So again, this has your typical 256 to 1 dilution. And then again, I put 2 ounces. I had a little bit more than 32 ounces in that foaming pump sprayer. Probably like, I think on the line, it was closer to 35. So again, you know, give or take, plus or minus, it's not going to impact the performance of the product being foamed on the surface. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Again, I've already used this off camera because, as I mentioned, I don't have much left in here. I just have enough. I don't even have enough to make a rinseless wash solution next time I use it. But I just want to give you guys a quick video before I use this up here. And we'll talk about using it with Nemesis here. So let's go wash the Equinox. And so I'll show you the format we're going to use. And if I don't want to keep this video too long, I may show you my new wheel washing process when it comes to rinseless washing. I think I'm still going to show that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be making it in this video, but I will show it to you at some point. So let me go ahead and take my stuff over there. I'm going to take the charging cable out of this camera because I was charging it while we were talking. Okay. So, as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and just use this. The car's pretty dirty. I didn't wash it for a couple of weeks. Because the cars were actually pretty clean last week. So let me put this in here. So I'm going to rotate the camera. Okay, so as I mentioned here, I actually already have the bucket 256 to 1. I have a towel in there, and I'm going to use a sponge. So I'm going to use the McKee's sponge. And the reason I'm going to be using this is because you don't want to use a wash sponge with Nemesis, and I'll show you why. The McKee's one's probably, this is the original McKee's. I think the new one you're going to have problems with because it's pretty dense. And then here's my bucket with Nemesis. I just have the iconic rinseless wash sponge in here. So let's see, I have my, you know what, let's just go ahead and use the regular one before I start foaming the solution on there. So you can see that the car's pretty dirty. I even have a bird balm on there. So here we're going to just go ahead and pre-soak this. I'll just do this section here. Again, we're just going to use this as a traditional rinseless wash first. And you can see it's got a nice mix. Again, mostly surfactant. Let me get the camera. I don't know why it's going that way. Mostly surfactant because it kind of lays a little flat on the surface. But again, it's a real nice effect on there. Okay. Pump that in there. Get the carton here. And then I'll take the... And here's what I mean why I wanted to use it first, because see, I'm already making this foamy doing this. Okay, so now I destroyed that bird balm. So again, real nice lubrication as a rinseless wash. It is kind of hot right now because I'm washing in the sun. So it's starting to dry out kind of quick. But you can see with this normal format, it's pretty good, right? I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's the problem when using it with a sponge comes into play when it keeps aerating the solution in there. And the McKee's one is the better, at least the original McKee's. You can see it wipes off real good right now. I am in direct sun, and it does look like it started to. Now this trim is just all funky. I need to figure out what to do with this trim. Okay, so you can see it worked out pretty well here during the wash process. Again, real nice wipe off. At least, like I said, you're probably going to need 2 towels because eventually your first towel's going to become damp the more you use it, and once it becomes more damp, then it's kind of harder to work with. But you can see it kind of wipes, it just flashes off real quick on there, at least for the initial wipe on there. Okay, so let me just put my towel on the stick and let's take a look at the foaming process with Loki. So again, I have 2 ounces and about, where's the thing at? Yeah, it's looking around 35 ounces in here. Okay, so we're gonna foam this side. So you can see it produced some real nice foam, right? Pretty thick, real nice foam. Look at that. So one of the things that they state is the ability for it to break down upon itself. And I want to show you, so we'll wash half this door with the sponge. Okay. The ability for it to kind of collapse on itself, right? Here's a problem with the sponge. See how it just starts kind of just moving stuff around, and it's starting to get a little foamy. You can see it on my thing, so I have to flip it. I'm not going to put the sponge back in, and the reason I'm not putting the sponge back in because now I have all this foam, and if I put it back on the surface, I'm hosed because now I've just put all this foam back in this solution. So what I've been doing here, or the best part or best thing to do, is you use a microfiber towel. This is a auto fiber double flip, and this does a lot better. But you can see it still doesn't collapse the foam as well as I want it to because now my towel's all foamy. So I have to, so what I've been doing is I have to kind of flip it again, and it just stays a little bit too foamy for me. So that's why I'm not a big fan of foaming rinseless washes in here, because they get a little too foamy. Let me get my towel, it's all scrunched up. But again, decent wipe off. Now I've got foam in the cracks here. And so that's kind of the thing that the problem that I've been having with this. That's why I didn't really want to make a video on it, because I didn't really want to make it seem like I was talking trash about it, because I'm not. I'm just saying that it doesn't collapse the foam like I expect it to. And so that's kind of like where I'm at with this product. But again, you can see the foam kind of breaks down once it's out of the well, the sun's kind of helping me a lot, but you can see there's nothing back in here. But I have to go over it, and what I'm noticing is, like I told you, because once your towel starts getting a little damp, now you're starting to be left with some residue right here. Flip this to a dry side, and I'm washing in direct sun, so that's another problem too. The surface is hot. Okay, so that's that. So that's taking a look at that. The next thing is we're going to foam it, and then we're going to use a Nemesis and see what Nemesis does to it. So let's take this sponge. You know what? Let's work on a flat surface here. We'll work on this hood here. I'll bring my stuff. Rather than a vertical process. Let me kind of reorganize here. I'm going to have to repump the pump sprayer because I need to repressurize it, so bear with me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to foam this surface here. Really nice, getting wind. Let's do this whole front end right here. Again, real nice foam quality from it. You can see it if I can pan down. So, you know, as a nice little pre-soak, it works really good. You know, while I'm at it, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with Nemesis here. I want to see if Nemesis does a better job to break it down. I should run another towel. I might have to run back in there, but let's use the sponge and see if this does a better job to break it down. Let me adjust the camera. Okay. So you can see my sponge gets pretty foamy. Yeah, I think it's just luck of the draw with this, with it. But look, my sponge is not foamy. Even my solution is foamy, but I'm gonna have to kind of redunk this probably multiple times. But the Nemesis is doing a better job collapsing that foam. I mean, you can just literally see it right here. So I can just redunk it back in here. Still a little too foamy for me because now my solution is getting contaminated with Loki in there. So if I squeeze it, I can see my sponge is starting to get a little foamy. But it's not that bad. So let me just go ahead and finish washing this. It's taking me a couple flips, right, to get this with it. But you can see, I mean, that's That's nice. Look how much I don't have to play around with all that foam that was on the surface. So it's an easier wipe off because now I don't have all those suds that I'm fighting against to wipe off the surface. Now again, look how easy that wiped off. So again, together, I think they work. It's a great pairing. By itself, if I'm using Nemesis, I'm not using it with a sponge, which for me, that's a drawback because I don't want to be using multiple towels. All the time. Just kind of wipe this through. Okay. So remember that wipes off real good with those two. And then finally, we're going to play around with the drying aid here. So we know Detail Co came out with Stay Strong for those of you. So I ended up buying this bottle. I haven't used that much of it. Once Stay Strong was gone, they ended up coming out with Lightning here. So actually, they did send this to me. They sent this to me quite a while ago when Lightning was first coming out. And I just haven't really done a video on this either. But we're going to go ahead and use this as a drying aid here on this surface that's still wet. So just a quick little mist. Wow. Can you hear the neighbor sneezing? Okay. And that's all there is to it. I actually like coming back with a secondary towel. And as I told you, my towel, once your towel starts getting a little damp, you're going to want to come through with it. But again, I just wipe it off. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little look at the combination of those two products. And kind of just give them a quick little go before I run out of solution. I can't give you guys an update to it, so let me just kind of rotate the camera. I'll just do final thoughts out here because I don't want to go back in the garage. So as you saw me using Detail Co Loki, their hybrid wash here, and so what I really think about this, because I've been playing around with this with the entire bottle here, and I could just never express my views on the product right away when I was using it. And the first time I used it, I was like, man, I don't like this. I do not like this whatsoever. It's just too foamy. It's a pretty good, I mean, I tell you what, when you use it as a regular rinseless wash, it works really good. It has some real good surfactants in there, cleans really well. Really easy to work with. Works pretty good with the sponge. Once you start aerating the sponge in the bucket, then it gets really foamy. That's when for me, I don't like it. It's just a little too surfactant heavy for me. Again, typical products like that do that. Optimal Hyperfoam does something very similar. But this one, again, will do it. You have to find the right sponge, and again, the original McKee sponge does a better job, and so does the Rag Company's Ultra Safe sponge. That one does a better job. The ones that are a bit more dense will make this become a bit more foamy. The Villain, the Iconic, Ultra Black sponge, like those type of sponges will really make this foam up in the bucket. But again, you're probably going to want to use towels with this. That's just my personal take on this when you're using Loki. When you're using this, multiple towels just work the best with it because it just it doesn't foam up, and then I'm not reintroducing any foam back in. Once I'm I'm with my sponge, when I take it back in and I'm aerating it, then it's creating all this foam in there. So if I'm using multiple towels, once I use all 8 sides of the towel, then it ends up in another bucket. I don't reintroduce stuff back in there. So that's, for me, the best use for this. The problem with that is now I have all these towels to launder, and which is why I prefer using a sponge. Like, and a sponge for me is just more efficient. It just does everything that I need it to do versus having all these towels. But again, if you want to wash multiple vehicles, then of course you're going to want to use multiple towels, and then again you're going to have a lot of stuff to launder. That's just my drawback on there. But again, it works really good. The other thing that we played around with was, okay, how does it play with Nemesis? So the combination of using that as a pre-soak and then using this to break down the foam works better than using Loki by itself. Loki by itself, to me, you saw it doesn't collapse the foam as good as what Nemesis did with it. So I think for me, the combination would be pre-soaking with Loki, washing with Nemesis, and then your wipe off is just so much easier. You saw how much foam, or the lack of foam, that I had on the surface. Just worked a lot better that way. And it's just a lot easier to wipe off because my towel's not going to get any foaming residue or anything like that. So that's just my takeaway with this. If you're going to be using Loki in the rinseless wash format, again, if you're going to use it by itself, multiple towels. If you're going to use it as a foaming pre-soak, I would use Nemesis as your wash, your actual wash, because it just breaks down the foam a lot better than using Loki with Loki. Let me put it that way. So I recommend that. Very similar to the way Hyperfoam breaks down better with ONR, and McKee's F914 breaks down better with N914. It's just that those products, they're designed to break down foam because they don't have foaming agents in there. So that's my personal recommendation to you if you're using Loki as your pre-soak, then come back and use Nemesis. Now, if you're going to use this in a foam cannon with your traditional wash process, you most certainly can. Like I said, you can put it in a foam cannon, foam your car, rinse it off, refoam it, or whatever you want, and then go for your rinseless wash style with Loki or Nemesis, whatever you want to do with that. You certainly can do that. Again, I'm not going to take out the pressure washer, refoam this, and then use this as a wash, because number one, if I'm taking out the pressure washer, this is just me. If I'm taking out the pressure washer, I'm going to just be using soap and water on the surface. I don't have a specific need for hybrid wash style. That's just not, I don't have a need for it in my area or in my situation. I just don't have a need for the hybrid wash style. I can it's either a full rinseless wash or a full bucket wash with traditional soap. That's just me. Again, everybody has whatever works for them. Just continue going with that. So I just want to share my thoughts on Loki. Again, I think it's a real good product in the sense that it cleans well, it has good lubricity. The wipe off when you're using it by itself is good. With a sponge, not so good. It's too foamy. You're going to want to use multiple towels. I think that's the drawback for me. And then if you're going to use it as a foaming pre-soak in a rinseless wash style, then I would recommend using Nemesis to wash with that, as Nemesis just does a better job to break down the foam of the product. But other than that, I think both products are really good. Here's the thing: I know people are going to ask, should you go out and buy them? And this is the problem I have because with any product, is because all products on the market, currently on the market, they all work and they all do a real good job. So the question is, should you go out and buy this? Should you dump out all your old stuff? Absolutely not. Should you add this to your collection? Look, if you're looking to try something different or something new, that's a perfect opportunity to just go out and buy some. I'm not going to sell you on product, hey, go buy this, go buy that, and overstock your shelves. If your current products are working, just continue to use that. Again, if you want to try something new, then you transition over to something like this and you try it out. Maybe you don't like it, and you go back to your old reliable stuff that just continues to work. So that's my takeaway. My recommendation to you is just don't go out and chase everything. Buy it if you have the desire. Number one, if you have the desire to use it, and number two, if you're bored and you want to try something new, then go ahead and use it. But again, two good products. Again, if you want to stay within the Detail Co lineup, two products to have. And then again, you can use their Lightning as a drying. Real nice product. Smells great, man. It smells good right here with it. All these products smell great, but yeah, they all work in conjunction together. Again, product synergy, staying within the same family. So that's all I have for you guys. Post your comments down below if you've used both products, and let me know if you how you like Loki, how you like Nemesis, and then of course if you've tried Lightning or Stay Strong, go ahead and post that. But again, three good products and they all work well together. I'm gonna go ahead and finish washing this, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take care, and yeah, see you on the next one.